Building a foundation for growth and prosperity is what a government led by Prime Minister Andrew Holness is successfully doing. In today's Jamaica magazine, we hear some of the ways how he and his team at the Office of the Prime Minister are doing just that. Welcome to the show. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Also in the show, the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Baroness Patricia Scotland, recently visited our shores from the UK. Hear her views on a number of key issues as we move towards an inclusive society. Speaking of inclusivity, we also showcase the Abilities Foundation and their exceptional students. Stick around, a full package unfolds right now.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, Pathway to Prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, July 19. Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago have reached understanding on many critical issues following day one of bilateral talks between the country's leaders.
Many of the items discussed require us to do even more work. We discussed issues having to do with the CSME, the single market and economy. We discussed issues having to do with energy, issues to do with the free movement of labor, and a variety of issues.
That we did have a very productive day. So much so that we can also say that the foundation has been laid for more work on other areas.
A full communique is to be made available to the press on Thursday, the final day of Prime Minister Rowley's visit. In the meantime, the promised training of immigration officials at the Piarco International Airport in Trinidad and Tobago is to be concluded next Tuesday. The country's Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister, Senator Dennis Moses, made the disclosure at a post-bilateral press briefing at Jamaica House on Monday.
We have started Wednesday past, so we will have completed 3 days at the end of today's session. The other 2 days would be Monday and Tuesday. That involves training of all levels of immigration officers, the contingents that would be interfacing at the airport, Piarco International Airport, with members of the public, the traveling public passengers. So that training would involve 20 to 30 persons per day, and all told we would have in excess of 100 persons trained. All the full complement, including supervisors, would have been trained at the end of the session next Tuesday, a total of 5 days.
Mr. Moses also gave an update on the creation of an airport holding area for persons denied entry into Trinidad and Tobago.
Relative to a dedicated facility at Piarco International Airport in Trinidad to treat with the process that involves entry into the country, is well on its way. Within 2 weeks, that facility should be completed.
Meanwhile, Jamaica's Foreign Affairs Minister, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, says immigration training will also be carried out in other Caribbean countries.
CARICOM has also committed to ensuring that across the region that there will be continued phases of training among immigration officers. And I think it is important for us to recognize the mark of good faith when countries agree to solve issues when promises are made and they are kept.
And Member of Parliament and wife of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Juliet Holness, is recommending that teenage boys who impregnate adolescent girls be given training and counseling similar to what's provided for girls.
It takes two to make a child to begin with, and as such it needs two or more to raise that child. So it is very important that the boys who are involved don't get off the hook and then go on to impregnating another young girl. They need to also be counseled and trained to take responsibility as the girls are required to do.
Mrs. Holness made the comments during a tour of the Women's Center Foundation of Jamaica on Monday. She was accompanied by a delegation from Trinidad and Tobago headed by Sharon Rowley, wife of Prime Minister Keith Rowley. Mrs. Holness also lauded the Women's Center for its positive impact on the lives of teenage mothers. Mrs. Rowley expressed similar commendation.
It's something that I can take back to Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm sure it will benefit our country.
In other news, the Trelawney Parish Council has received $29 million from the Equalization Fund to undertake infrastructural work throughout the parish. The money will be used for road maintenance, drain cleaning, garbage disposal, and other activities.
I will support any initiative from any parish council that seeks assistance from the Equalization Fund, where those funds can be used to help you to generate additional income for the benefit of the council.
The local government minister was addressing a special meeting of the parish council in Falmouth last Thursday. He urged the council to double its efforts in collecting outstanding municipality fees. And finally, 3 Jamaican hotels have been ranked among the best in the Travel and Leisure magazine's World's Best Awards 2016. They are Round Hill Hotel and Villas in Montego Bay, St. James, Golden Eye in Oracabessa, St. Mary, and Jamaica Inn located in Oterias, St. Anne. Chosen by Travel and Leisure readers, the Jamaican properties made the top 10 of the best resort hotels in the Caribbean, Bermuda, and the Bahamas category. In expressing his delight at the selection, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the recognition provides proof of Jamaica's stellar hospitality and guest experience. Every year, Travel and Leisure asks its readers to weigh in on travel experiences around the globe, sharing their opinions on the top hotels, resorts, cities, islands, cruise lines, spas, airlines, and more. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thank you for watching.
Excess salt in your diet increases blood pressure and contributes to kidney damage, gastric cancer, obesity, osteoporosis, and the worsening of asthma. Aim to have no more than 3 to 6 grams of salt, or half of 1 teaspoon per day. And children under 11 years of age should consume less than this. Get healthy. Reduce the salt. A public service message from the Jamaica Information Service and the Ministry of Health.
In order to create a sound foundation for prosperity, we need all hands on deck. At the office of the Prime Minister, where the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation lies, all players are crucial in leading this process. We hear from the heads and their plans as outlined in the recent sectoral debates.
The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation in the Office of the Prime Minister is the one-stop shop for all the mechanisms needed to grow Jamaica's economy and provide employment for citizens. During the recent sectoral debate, the cabinet members put in charge of the ministry outlined some of the plans geared towards moving the country forward.
The portfolios assigned to me place under one umbrella key development and regulatory areas such as land and physical planning, environment, climate change, as well as investment.
And so Minister Darrell Vaz says he will be focusing on spatial planning to ensure there is balanced development across the island. Plans for the capital include the Urban Renewal Tax Incentive Program, expansion of downtown Kingston's boundaries, and construction of a cruise ship pier. On the important matter of environmental protection, government is pursuing a national policy and strategy on environmental management systems, EMS.
In addition, Mr. Speaker, the ministry will be moving to finalize the environmental stewardship policy guidelines this financial year. These guidelines will provide a framework for the public sector to lead by example in streamlining its operations.
As for the long-awaited delineation of the cockpit country boundary,
A joint cabinet submission between the Ministry of Transport and Mining and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation will be submitted to cabinet shortly, and public will be kept abreast of the decision. Mr. Speaker, billions of dollars investments are needed to provide basic services and infrastructure to protect the environment, enhance energy efficiency, and respond to climate change.
as such, the pilot program for climate change resilience will be implemented this fiscal year. Government is also taking advantage of international projects aimed at increasing climate change investment. And the newly minted Economic Growth Council has been making moves in fast-tracking large local and international projects.
As the Economic Growth Council to date has met with some 35 key public and private stakeholder groups, and reports from the meeting have been encouraging as they have pledged full support for the EGC.
$14 million will be spent this year on infrastructural work on the Nagohead Tech Park. And the Port Authority of Jamaica will be spending $4.1 billion on the BPO sector over the next 2 years. The Cannabis Licensing Authority has received 200 applications from investors interested in the sector. And steps are being taken to accelerate several investment projects that have been stuck in government red tape.
The total investment package currently under consideration, Mr. Speaker, is well over 800 billion Jamaican dollars, with a job creation potential of over 80,000 jobs.
The areas of water, housing, ports, highway development contribute and drive the process of growth in the economy.
And as he tackles those matters, Minister Chang has announced that the National Water Commission's shareholding will be made available to Jamaicans through the stock market, freeing up cheap multilateral funding and grants.
This does not mean absolute privatization of the NWC. The public, represented by the government, will have controlling interests, but individual Jamaicans will have a stake in the company.
The ministry will also be tackling water wastage, better known as non-revenue water.
We intend to take this from current 65% to less to 30% over 3 years. We'll be changing some of our major transmission lines, which are part of the source of our problem. We have identified over 35 projects, in fact over 30, that will achieve much of our goals.
On the wastewater management side of the portfolio, all wastewater from South St. Catherine will be diverted to the Soapberry plant. And plans are far advanced for the privatization of the Central Wastewater Treatment Company. Government will also be approaching the IDB to fund additional work on sewer lines in downtown Kingston.
We'll be emphasizing, without any apology, a program of private-public partnerships and joint venture programs in the housing sector.
The ministry will also be partnering with the NHD and UDC to get the housing stock to 10,000 per year.
To make this country strong, the build-out of our infrastructure will be key.
Through the Road Maintenance Fund, the Works Ministry will be spending $1.1 billion on river training, disaster mitigation, hot mix and spray patching, as well as traffic management and intersection improvement.
We intend to continue effort at reducing congestion in main road network, while at the same time making it safer for persons to travel.
The areas to be targeted include Constant Spring Road, Mandela Highway, Marcus Garvey Drive, Hagley Park Road and Barbican Road in Kingston and St. Andrew. Road rehabilitation works are also slated for all other parishes. And in addition to the $519 million being spent on the Cupis Bridge in Clarendon, attention will also be paid to bridges in St. Thomas and St. Catherine. Meanwhile, a revolving regional fund has been set up in the National Works Agency, giving each parish access to $1 million for routine road maintenance.
We will ensure that cuts are repaired within 48 hours of being repaired, and small holes don't become craters because of slow or no response.
The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is committed to ensuring that our people are given the right stimulus to produce. That's why Minister Warmington announced the creation of the Housing Opportunity Prosperity Employment Program HOPE.
It It is one of the strategy of the government of Jamaica to provide a one-stop shop for social intervention program affecting local communities and the most vulnerable groups in the society.
A secretariat is to be established to deal with daily operations. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, building the foundation for prosperity.
Jamaica's Vision 2030 goal is also very much in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, also to be achieved by 2030. Recently, the Secretary-General of the Commonwealth, the Right Honourable Patricia Scotland, visited the island to meet with young people on achieving Goal 11 of the SDGs, making our cities more inclusive and safe, among other things. Get some insight now on how the Commonwealth, which includes Jamaica, is working to achieve these SDGs.
There's something else that's really important that binds the 2.3 billion people together. And that is, in 2015, the world made a decision that we would together agree the Sustainable Development Goals. That's a template now for every country in the world, but it's a template for every single one of us in our Commonwealth. We have the same agenda. We also have the same agenda on climate change. COP21 and the implementation of that, COP22. Why? Because we know in this region that the existential threat of climate change is real. I'll say that again, 60% of that population is going to be under the age of 30 by 2030. So the people in this room who are currently under the age of 30, you are not only today's leaders, you are tomorrow's as well. And that future is going to be decided by what you do and what you fail to do. Because lots of people will tell you that doing nothing is not a choice. It is. That doing nothing is not making a decision. It is. If you choose to do nothing, remember that is a choice, and consequences flow from your choices. And it does depend on each of you. Do something to make a difference and make sure those sustainable development goals are owned by each of you and delivered by each of you. Because I want us to remember that what each of us does makes a difference. And everything starts with you. It starts with you. And I've put the challenge right now to cities. And the reason I put it on cities is we know, according to everything the World Bank and others are saying, that cities are going to determine the wealth of our world in the years to come. This challenge starts here in the Caribbean, but I hope it'll go to Africa, to the Pacific, to the ASEAN region, to Europe and to North America. There'll be 6 challenges, but one people. One people.
As it leads the thrust for inclusivity, government continues to give priority to the needs of Jamaicans with disabilities. Through organizations such as the Abilities Foundation, some wonderful opportunities are being created for exceptional leaders.
Lexley is preparing for another day at Jamaican Teas, where he works as assistant to the factory manager and the company's hazard analysis and critical control points coordinator. He is among the men and women who, despite their physical, mental, or social limitations and impairments, are learning to create value and purpose with the skills they have acquired. His life has been changed significantly because of the services provided by the Abilities Foundation.
Life was sort of weird in many ways. A lot of wasting of time in terms of parties, but yet still wanted to achieve something, but the opportunity wasn't there.
It was through a group of concerned parents, stakeholders, that their children who were disabled, after graduating high school, they had nowhere else to go. And they raised a telethon to raise funds to establish a skills training center. And through that, Abilities Foundation was born in October 1992. Abilities Foundation is a unique institution. It's the only institution in the Caribbean and in Jamaica that caters to all disabilities.
The foundation was established to meet two primary objectives: increase the employability of persons with disabilities and teach good work ethics to young adults with disabilities to prepare them for integration into society.
The training program that I was engaged in is office administration. Being at the Abilities Foundation and being a person with disabilities, basically you are comfortable because you are amongst persons with disabilities and their understanding of conditions. I learned that there.
The courses offered through the Abilities Foundation seek to provide opportunities for full participation and equality. These programs open new skill areas and, whenever possible, are crafted within existing social, education, and labor trends. The foundation currently offers 5 training programs: housekeeping levels 1 and 2, furniture making, data operations levels 1 and 2, design and decor soft furnishing, horticulture and landscaping.
What we do is that we give them an in-house test. If they are capable of passing it at 70%, we send them up to do what you call an assessment. The assessment is done by outside persons from Heart, and they do the assessment and finish the program, certified through Heart. If they are not capable, then they will give them what you call a unit competency. That unit competency is a document or paper showing that they are capable of doing these units.
The foundation also provides a functional life skills curriculum which focuses on the students' transition to the workforce, as well as remedial English and mathematics, money awareness and management.
I assist them with preparation of their resumes, their cover letters, searching for different employment opportunities. One of my major functions is to provide them with placement sites so that they can get job experience.
For the past couple of years, we have been with the NYS, and we recognize that that's a summer program, but we recognize that after they are placed in the summer program, it's easier for us to go back to those places to get permanent placement for them because they see what they can do and not their disability.
The foundation has been able to extend its reach and service offerings through grant funding from the Japanese Policy Human Resources Development Grant Program. The grant was provided through the Ministry of Labour and Social Security's Social and Economic Inclusion Project for persons with disabilities.
What this project endeavors to do is to build the capacity of the institution through professional development courses for the staff. A major component of this project is to assist the students with a training stipend, and it is targeted for those who are PATH beneficiaries. The project also provides them with a job placement officer and a job coach. So when we place them on jobs, we also give them a coach to mentor and help them throughout the process.
The foundation continues to open doors for persons with disabilities and equip them with the requisite skills and knowledge to become productive Jamaican citizens. The Abilities Foundation, creating opportunities for the exceptional.
We no love the way like Jamaica. Because no one else feel like Jamaica. Whoa.
In creating a prosperous and more inclusive Jamaica, we need all of you on board. As we were encouraged by the Commonwealth Secretary General, it starts with you, yes, and me. Share your feedback on today's program by emailing jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Plus, stay connected via our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also visit our YouTube channel at Watch JIS to see this and other shows. I am Adrian Atkinson. Thank you for watching Jamaica Magazine, and tune in again tomorrow for another insightful and informative show.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.